Everything about how your life has turned out comes down to your choices. I know this is something that sounds heavy because we don't choose our beginnings. I didn't choose to be born into a society that tried to silence me. And I certainly didn't choose the kerosene lamp situation that I talked about in my previous daily post. But I did choose what to do with the light that it gave me. Most people spend their lives responding to what happens to them rather than deciding what will happen next. Innocence is a choice we eventually have to trade for fire, because there is a specific moment in every overachiever's life where the magic of childhood, it hits the wall of reality. And this is the moment you realize that the world is not a playground, it's a battlefield. So today I'm walking you through the 5 specific moments where I feel that I left my innocence, but I found the fire that actually led me to rank number 10 in the country and build the life that I have today. So let's start with the 5th moment that my innocence was challenged. The 5th moment when my innocence was challenged was when my roof energy met the world's expectation. Because I was a free spirit who didn't care about gender roles or boundary. I just wanted to fly kites and see the view from the top. But the world has a way of trying to trade your curiosity for compliance. I remember being told to get down and to be quiet because girls don't do that. That was the first time I feel that I realized that my ambition was going to be a problem for some people. So I had to make a choice. Do I shrink to fit their comfort, or do I lean more into the friction? Which one I chose, right? I chose the friction. And I feel that's where the grit started. Number 4, it was the moment that I saw the marriage script being prepared for me. In my culture, success for a woman was defined by who she married, not what she engineered. While others were preparing for a wedding or choosing the right partner or making sure that they are chosen, I was preparing for a revolution on the blackboard that my mom got for me. I chose to master chemistry and math by the light of a kerosene lamp because I knew that I wanted a room of my own. I had to design the foundation myself. And this was the moment I lost the innocence of thinking things would be given to me. And I found the fire of knowing maybe I could create them. So the third best decision, and perhaps the most raw, was the choice to stay in America in 1997. I called my parents. I told them, I'm not coming back. Everyone told me that I wouldn't survive alone. And I'm telling you, this was one of the time of my life I felt the most alone. That was a loss of innocence moment because I realized that my safety net was gone. I was alone, I was an immigrant, and I didn't have a hero to call. But I realized that as soon as I turned inward and I decided to bet on myself, maybe the game can change. I know I chose struggle. I know I chose a strange country over the comfort of being a good girl back home. And I decided to choose to be my own hero. So number 2 was the realization, if the room wasn't built for us, let me just renovate it. I spent years trying to fit into corporate rooms. And I always felt like a guest rather than a builder. And I know that with my personality, I was a fan of everyone else's success, but I was always waiting for my turn to be noticed. But when I leaned into my engineering brain and I started looking at the mechanics of how things are built, I realized, you know what? I don't need an invitation. I need a blueprint. So at that moment, I feel that I stopped being a fan and I started being a future problem solver, because If the foundation is shaky, you have to rebuild it. You have to fix it. And I don't feel that I had to ask permission to lead, because I just have to start solving my own problems and the problems in front of me. Okay, so number one is the decision that has brought me to doing this and to be on day 4. The choice to document this journey. I spent a lot of time overthinking about the tech, the strategy, and the what if. Quite frankly, I purchased a lot of YouTube courses and a lot of tutorials, but they all start with the fancy equipment and a whole lot of planning. But you know what? Clarity doesn't come from the plan. I have 29 years of experience to tell you that. It comes from the habit. I'm Webley. I'm 4 days into this reset, and I am realizing that the fire that I found as a teenager is still here. I'm not just making videos, I'm building a lane where the silence cannot follow. So, tell me in the comments, what was the moment that you felt that you lost your innocence, but you found your fire? Let's fill this section with the evidence of our grit. So I'll see you tomorrow for day 5.